What is up, everybody? Welcome to Final Circle presented by Esports Arena, where we keep you up to date on all of the Apex news, especially what's going on in Series E. Now, what is Series E? Great question. Well, it's an open invitational infrastructure. It's a seasonal event that's going on where we have 11 pro teams, going up against 9 partnered teams. Well, how do you get partnered? You have to go through the qualification process that happened in September and a little bit in October. It was a 4-week process where teams accumulated points on the typical ALGS point system. And then once they got into the top 9 area, based on if they won that week or their overall points, they then got matched up with a certain partner, top partners like Cheez-Its, Pringles, Razer, Intel, all of those partners that you saw on your screen right there. And you could be a part of Series E as well, because on Tuesdays and Wednesdays are when we have it. And Tuesday is our open day. We have Final Circle on Thursday. It's all at 5 p.m. Pacific time. But again, it's first come, first serve for our open teams going on Tuesday. And you can play against our partnered teams and also gain points to see if you can get in and participate while relegations happen, which happen at the end of each season. Tuesday, as always, is our open day here at Series E, and we have some amazing open teams that came through. Now, Twitch Rivals was going on throughout the time, so we had some subs that were popping in here and there. I think that Hundreds was playing in, so Pringles didn't have their full roster, but check out the replay and enjoy the footage from that day.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome to Series E. We had our Thanksgiving break last week, but we are starting it up right up again here. Of course, today is Tuesday, which means it is our open sign-up day, and so our 9 partner teams will be facing off against our open sign-up teams. More and more points, and so it is crucial for him to survive for now. Dracos will get thirsted off as Team Zara Tricky, along with, Team Razer. Team Razer now are pushing forward. They got the kill onto E-Boy Ronnie. Intel will get finished off. So now we're down to our top 3 squads, but it's just Team Razer. They have positioning on the circle. They've got a great crossfire set up as well, and the aim to back it up. These R301 shots just absolutely laying in to Team Intel right here. It is, though, going for that peak. It's Zara Tricky, spots him out. He's got the Scout and the Hemlock here. It's a little bit dangerous to play, but you can also pull out the Hemlock for that burst if he wants to, just to try and finish him off. Here's the final 2 squads. Gold armor, he will be able to take the win. Team Razer secure the victory here in game number 1. It looks like we are finally heading into game number 2. And it's all about Team Razer right now that are trying to clean up any rat that might be still alive at this point. They already took out Decoys is the first one to go down, though, and Inos falls next. And Team Razer are so good at team fighting at this point. It's going to be a 2nd game in a row for Team Razer. As long as they finish him off. Oop, they have lost one. Despite that little bit of hiccup, Team Razer will take back-to-back wins. We're still struggling to recover. Holds that angle with the Mastiff. Does not connect, does back away to try and back up Premi here. The Mastiffs do connect onto Hambino. Now Team Cheez-It are forced to drop down into Rakanishu, who still has that arm shield. It does finally get cracked. Pulls out the Hemlock, goes for the instant flick on over to the right, and he actually 1v3'd.
Right, but that was a fairly close one. And they're fortunate that there's a lot of teams that have already been taken out as we take a look at another fight that's happening over towards the opposite side.
It's going to be Team Razer going down. It's all up to AMG here, but Team Intel, they want to push the aggression. They want to finish this one off. AMG just playing around the rock for now as Decoys gets the knock onto Tempest, but here comes the rest of the squad. Sleepy Panda will fall as he hits another one. Decoys, will he be able to do it in the 1v3? No, he will not. But AMG secures 2nd, and Team Intel will walk away with game number 3. Into that Gibraltar with Munsgod's help, he will be able to get the knock onto Little F. Swaps back on over to that R301. And now with the P2K, the hammer points really dishing in the damage. He just needs one more. But Strictly is almost all out of light. Going to go up with that Mastiff to clear it out for his squad, and they get the knock, and they will be able to take him out, and they set up the interception pylon instantly as well up top. So Cheez-It now moving from strong position to a stronger one here. Are basically the kings of the hills, as we have AMG losing one, but it's Team White to go down, as Pop-Tarts have lost one themselves. Lucas is the first to go down, as Fat Fruit Ninja is trying to survive, but here's the drop down from Team Cheez-It, having difficulty connecting these shots onto Blight, but they will be able to finish it off. Team Cheez-It take game number 4.
What a great situation here for Team Rice Krispie Treats. They're getting the pings down on where these players are. Gold Wingman just this is going to be a very interesting fight. High ground always typically has the advantage here, but the way that they have this rock under control and these fences, it's going to be so difficult to drop down unless you land a fat grenade here.
What a beautiful rotation coming out from Team Rice Krispie Treat, being able to spot that one out. But they've already gotten 2 knocks. Bird and Sung are down. There's only one more remaining, and Team Intel will take a second game here in game number 5. Try and finish off this game. The way they started this entire series is hyper aggressive, continuing to push the team fights now as they drop on in. Joey Blackout has gone down with the Pulse and Dream. This is a completely different squad as well, and they just roll through them. Stunny heals up along with Team Razor in this final 3v3. We've got 9 more seconds before the zone starts closing in such a tense situation here as both teams, they're not going to have much cover to work with going into this next zone. They have the post, they have the defensive bombardments. It's going down. Good shots coming out from Sung here as he's going to go ahead and zoom on in with that Pathfinder. He is in the thick of things, and it's Bird to follow up with that Mastiff. He got 2 knocks, and Team Rice Krispies will take the game.
And he's got that Graver, so you got to watch out as he's getting aggressive over here towards the high ground. Intel knows the scenario. Team Razor was taken out a little bit early in rotation while avoiding the team shooting them from both sides.
There you go. They are pushing up now. The 2 men inside as the Watson generator was cleared, 77-33, and they will be able to clean up Hill and Tempest. So Team Intel go down in the top 4, and PL in a big fight for the holding the angle, but here it is. This is what I was talking about. NPL, we're able to move a little bit sooner. Here comes the bubble now. They're going to push forward. Feel like they've got the advantage in this fight. They're going to go ahead and push on to that Gibraltar. Doesn't hit damage with that Volt as the bubble comes down from the other side now. As GS Bird, he's down to about 50 HP, but they've almost taken out E-Boy Ronnie, who is forced to pop that bat for now. Ronnie almost going down, and it is going to be Nestle Pure Life to take the win.
Getting the first knock onto Fat Fruit Ninja. Team Pop-Tarts trying to answer back. You see Lucas in the vicinity. Nice shots there with the Bolt. Switches back on over towards the EVA 8. They're going to find 2 knocks. 1 versus 1 now. He's able to finish it off. Lucas going big, dropping Team White.
Who have themselves in a fight up against Team, I believe that's Team Rez. And Tempest, once again, with that.
You know NPL is going to want to continue to get aggressive, and they do. They go and hit that portal. There's the aggressive play that you love to see. Bloodhound coming through. You do have Stunny at the bottom floor. He does get hit with that massive shot. The rest of the player is going to send it immediately.
Yeah, they're right on top of him as well, but oh my god, Stunny! Massive work, but finally the rest of the team shows up. It's a 1v2. And it's not going to be enough. Unfortunate. It was so close. The Sung had that PK, but here comes the third party. Nestle Pure Life not out of trouble quite yet. It's Team Pringles showing up here. We're down to our 5 squads, by the way.
It's all about your timing here for Hambino, and he's going to have to make this play soon because they're not going to be able to just walk it in. There's no way someone like Nade survives on that Watson with the amount of gatekeeping here, but Pringles in a prime position here, Jamerson, using the eggshells of this dome to their advantage.
And I love how Stink is playing it as well in that forward position so that he can poke away and then back off, try to gain control as much of the ring as possible for the next zone here. Keep them at bay. He does have a position to fall back to, so he is going to be safe on this Wraith. The bubbles are coming down from either side now. Strictly the first one to go down. Zerachiki to pick that one up. Nades will try and use that interception pylon for some additional coverage here, but Haculo will be able to get the thirst. Nades goes down next to Haculo, and here comes Casellos to get the finish off with that defensive bombardment. Hambino is still alive for his team as he's going to hop between the portals to try and survive for as long as possible, pick up second place. But as they push forward, there it is, 2 members of Team Razor going down now. There's only 1 left, and they get finished off, so he successfully rats it into the top 2. But it's Team Pringles to take the victory in the final game of the day.
Very nice job by Pringles, playing the advantage that they had, getting into the zone there, and just locking it down, keeping all of the action right in front of them. Phenomenal way to end that one, especially when they have a sub. So I know Hundreds is over there watching that one, pumping up his team. Team Pringles taking it over towards the end. But overall, I think, Jamerson, we all know who won this one. It had to be Team Razor with their phenomenal gameplay. It was an epic battle all the way to the end, but Team Razor prevails, and it's no surprise because they're our number one point getter, not just in the qualification process, but overall here in Series E. Rice Krispie Treats was hot on their trail, though, throughout the entire time. Intel put together some pretty solid games, and during Team Pop-Tarts week, Pop-Tarts came in fourth place. They had an amazing start to their game number one. We're going to interview them a little bit later and catch up with those guys to see how they're feeling about this weekend going into ALGS. But let's take a look at the overall leaderboard in terms of our free agent teams, because there's a lot of solid teams that are coming here in Series E. And 2 Brains, 1 Controller, we'll talk about them in a little bit. They are our Wednesday winners. They take it down. Crafting is not that far behind them. That's Joey Blackout, Impulsive, and Z Davis. So a lot of skilled teams in here coming through, especially ZIN, AMG, Amos's, Solafides down there as well. Team White really impressed us over this last Tuesday, so I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with the rest of these open days. Wednesday is our pro day. Let's take a look at our teams that were coming in. Flashpoint filled in for NRG, and there's an interesting story developing with NRG. We'll keep you up to date. Not sure if they're going to be back in Series E, but we'll find out. Flashpoint, they did not disappoint, though. They hopped in game number 2, and they won their first game coming through. They averaged the highest placing out of any team in the ALGS by 5th place, and we know how important it is to predict where these zones are going to go and get into the final zone, and 2 Brains, 1 Controller showed us that. So let's take a look at a lot of these replays that rolled through on our Wednesday Pro Day.
All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Series E, as it is Pop-Tarts week, and now we are heading into the Pro Nights. Team Intel do survive until the top 3, though, and right now it's all about Team Cooler versus Team Sentinels. We'll see if Cooler were able to position early enough here, but the Kraber is out for Senox. He brings out that first shot. Will continue even up against that Gibraltar arm shield here as they continue to push forward. Cooler have to be careful upon this approach, but Retzi has taken a lot of damage. We see the bats being used by him and Crust back into this fight. Nasty now forced back as well. You can see tactical maneuvering coming out from Dell here, getting over for that crossfire on the left-hand side. Nasty gets the knock onto Crust. Dell will be able to finish this all off with that PK. Great job coming out from Cooler, and this is what we want to see out of them, taking the victory here in game number 1.
Yeah, they're hyped why I'm not playing, because especially when I don't play Wraith. More of a Pathfinder guy, but I love the way that they're so aggressive on the Sentinel side. They're a great team to watch in the way that they're playing aggressive, but we have a huge fight happening on the edge of Thermal, where we do have our first scan going into round number 3, so we are going to see that this spot is going to be highly contested because it is in the zone. Amazing sprint.
Right now you can see Hambino with that PK charged up, ready to just tear into someone and go ahead and drop an armor for himself to have that armor swap to another fresh red for him, ostensibly playing with an additional 125 HP. Flashpoint don't have that same option. They're the ones that are forced out of this building. A climb up comes out. Nades actually goes down. Rambo with a huge heads up play going up top, and that is going to be the opening for them at this point, as Hambino now will go down, and Flashpoint with a huge play is able to get out there and actually take the win. Kenny might finish him off very shortly. Navi versus 303, though, once again over by Frag West, and they're doing a good job of spreading out as the port was created by that Wraith. The drone is coming out, and we might have the EMP. No, it's the res coming out from 2 Brains, 1 Controller. Throwing some more chaos into this final circle, what should be the final circle amongst our 3 teams. We do have more than one player down there. Here comes the EMP now. Here are the nades as well, coming in at such an opportune time for them, as that interception pylon went down as well. But nothing really came of it, and fortunately for that low ground team, there's plenty for them to work off of. Jazaz getting a lot of damage off here, and really just shooting fish in a barrel. Currently, bubble has been used. No knocks quite yet. Yeah, and they're just waiting. 2 Brains, 1 Controller biding their time. They are hearing the shots outside. They know that they're in an engagement. If they see knocks from either side, that 303 going down. If Jazaz or anyone from Third Impact go down, then they are in trouble. But as you can see, Zicky's doing a great job of keeping that back covered, making sure that they're watching that door. They do drop down as a duo, and now here it comes.
They got him back in.
Brains, 1 Controller. They do have that port there covering the door, and Zicky is right there to play bodyguard. And now take a look at this third impact, looking to close this one all out. Third impact, take the win here. They'll have time to heal up before the zone even starts closing, and so nothing really coming of that defensive bombardment as Cooler we're making an excursion out into the next ring with 7 seconds left to go. The ring will start closing in. You do have the port to try and bounce around for that. Let's take a look at what Two Brains One Controller do here as the EMP is being set up. As you can see, Two Brains One Controller tech already knows that he wants to use it. He's already dropped down his armor for a long time now, so he'll be able to re-pick that one up. As Yuki gets the first knock, Navi goes down. That's going to be Max Strafe to go down next as Claus gets finished off. Sir Del will fall, and Nasky's coming up huge, but Noct is still in this for now. He goes down, and LG as the two-man secure the victory here in game number 4. Not quite yet. They are slowly closing that ground, and it doesn't look like that Cooler were really able to take advantage of the damage they put down here as Albert Laley does spot one out below. Quick flick hits that shot onto Tech, and Nocturnal will be able to finish him off. Another connect coming out from Albert Laley. It's just unfortunate. Everyone's got the blues and the purples, and he hits another. Yeah, so that's going to be massively important here. LG, can they win back-to-back? They took game number 4 as they do. This time around, they've got the full complement of ultimates and abilities to work with. Rugby getting his way up towards that Wraith as Prowler in the hands of Sanya. He is ready to play off this. Having that DT can be important. You might want to swap that one off as you already get the information through the smoke, through the gas. As you can see, a lot of fighting going on. It's going to be CLG versus Team Intel. Intel goes down. CLG picks that one up. Razor's Mercy only will be the next one to fall. CLG are in the other train card. This was the team that LG were eyeing as Sanya will finish off Zera tricking. So it's our final 2 squads. EMP coming in. Now Madness has forced a bet. Now as he was cracked, we'll see if Vax and Pal can hold the line for his squad. They do just try and get in on this, and they've created enough confusion. Is it going to be enough? It's Pal, the only one alive for CLG. LG will take game number 5 back-to-back with this composition for them. It's Sentinels, Liquid, 2 Brains, 1 Controller, with a number of kills that 2 Brains, 1 Controller have picked up. They might have just done it. Nice thermite coming out from Liquid though. And with this fighting going on, 2 Brains, 1 Controller are just smacking their lips. They're waiting for the trades here as Sentinels are full, or Liquid are full sending it on Sentinels right now. No trades quite yet as 2 of Sentinels have gone down. Now Liquid have taken some damage, but the timing here isn't quite in for 2 Brains and Controller. They will full commit onto this push for now. They get the first knock. Albalele is down. Tech is here with his massive out now. Going to go ahead and pull out that Hemlock, and 2 Brains, 1 Controller will do it in the final game. They get the plus 12. Do they have enough kill points though to secure first place? I think they might have just done it, Tom.
The EU teams, but it was 2 Brains, 1 Controller holding it down for the NA squads, and it's an open team as well, getting the dub. They did it in the final game, miraculously winning it with a ton of kill points on the board as well. So congratulations to our top 2 teams, 2 Brains, 1 Controller, and Luminosity on our Wednesday Pro Day. Taking a look at the overall standings in terms of points accumulated through all of Series Z, Team Razor is at the top, and it's no surprise. Team Rockstar directly behind him. Now, Team Razor dominates on the open days, but it was Team Rockstar coming through after placing the worst out of all of our partner teams on Tuesday to have a strong Wednesday, getting inside of the top 10, and also showcasing why they are a top 4 team and have placed top 4 in the autumn circuit. So looking forward to seeing how all of this pans out. Keep in mind that the team sitting over towards the bottom will have eventual relegation towards the end of our circuit. But we're looking at now some of the stats, and you see how hard that Team Razor just loves to frag out. Other teams like Team Intel, they will frag out as well, but they tend to get more in the center of the circle, while teams like Razor are running the Bloodhound Gibraltar composition, and they're extremely active. So it's going to be interesting to see who does take over the number 1 spot overall. But for now, it's Team Razors. All right, so this is the part of the show where I make my predictions for next week, and it's Intel's week next week. So I'm going to give a shout out to Team Intel. I think that they're going to do it big. It's Hill, Tempest, and Teen, always strong over towards the Sorting Factory side. So I think that they have what it takes to take it down. In terms of our pro teams, I'm actually going to pick an open team that's coming through. They're a semi-pro team, I guess. It's Flashpoint. I'm not sure if they're an organization or not. I think they are, but they're one of the teams to look out for. Again, Kubsky's really good at calling the shots, and Rambo proved a lot today that he has what it takes to frag out on a Watson. So I'm looking forward to seeing how Team Flashpoint does next week. Now, we have a lot of ALGS action that happened, and we also had Twitch Rivals that took place. It was ALGS Autumn Circuit number 4. Complexity ended up taking the dub. TSM was right behind them. Applejacks came in 3rd place. It's nice to see the Series Z teams coming through. CLG was in 4th place, and then Team Razor actually came in 5th place too. So a lot of the Series E teams making their way over towards the top 5. Seems like the practice is really paying off. In terms of rivals, it was Team Alberlelli coming in with the win, taking, I think, $15,000, $15,500 overall. There was $50,000 up for grabs overall. In 2nd place, it was Team Prize. You also had Team Sweet Dreams and all of TSM coming in 4th place. So that was a lot of fun. Fortunately, Code Truck is fixed, so we won't have to deal with that ever again. Knock on wood. This weekend is one of the most intense moments in Apex in terms of esports in the ALGS because it's the LCQ. There's a lot of spots up for grabs, more than before in the summer circuit where there was only 2. 5 overall, I believe, are going to be up for grabs this weekend for both EU and NA. So it's going to be awesome watching all the teams duke it out. And there's a lot of good ones still in there, and a handful of these Series Z teams that are trying to make their way into the playoffs. The playoffs are taking place on the 19th and the 20th. So make sure you tune in twitch.tv/play Apex, but don't go anywhere. We're going to have a quick interview with Team Pop-Tarts.
Stack Pringles flavors. Make new ones.
How much do you think Pringles paid these people?
Hardly anything. Hey, you guys want to stack different Pringles flavors to create new flavor combos? Here, I'll go first. Pizza, barbecue, and jalapeno. The spicy barbecue pizza stack. Get him!
Grandpa, what's going on?
Pringles. We're trapped in a Pringles commercial. They must have taken us in our sleep.
How can we get out?
We can't, Summer. They warned me this would happen, and I didn't listen. Stack Pringles, make endless new flavors. Stacking Pringles to make new flavors. Make endless new flavors. Barbecue, wavy, and sour cream and onion equals a 3-layer dip stack.
Imagine you love frosting and filling.
I do love frosting and filling.
Oh, well, imagine if there was a way to enjoy that delicious goodness anywhere, anytime, out of the toaster, out of the box, out of one of those baggy thingies, with nothing but a thin layer of foil between you and...
Pasta.
Yes, Curtis. This is a commercial about pasta.
I love it.
Frosting and filling for your pasta.
I like pesto.
All right, at the end of every single final circle, we do an interview, and this week it was week Pop-Tarts. Team Pop-Tarts is here, and unfortunately, they had a great day yesterday. We're going to talk about what happened today shortly, but how you guys feeling today?
Could be better, but overall not too bad.
I mean, we saw what you guys were doing on open day. Hey, I just want to say we saw what you were guys doing on open day. You guys start off so hot in the first game. You mopped the entire first 10 teams in the lobby, basically. If you're able to get out of that situation that you were in, I feel like you guys would have put up maybe a 35-point game with how much you guys were slaying out overall. So it could have been something record-breaking for Series E, but you got stopped. And then you ended up placing 3rd or 4th overall, which is still pretty solid. today you ended up placing in last place. We'll talk about what happened, but I think it first starts with the drops. So give us a little bit of information on what was going on with the drops, first of all.
Well, on Tuesday's league, we don't have the pro team, so we're able to take Frag West uncontested, which we wanted to do for a long time. But normally we have contested by one of the pro teams, Navi or NRG, on Wednesday. So not having a drop spot makes it a lot more difficult to rotate and fight other teams that we want to.
And what was the plan when the pro teams start sending it over that way? Because who do you have landing on that side? You have, what is it? It's not Third Impact. It's
Third
not
Impact's
Cooler.
in
You have
Epicenter.
Navi landing. You have Navi landing over there, right? Is that correct?
In Frag West?
Fragment West, yeah.
Yes, Navi lands Frag West.
So Navi was contesting you guys continuously, and then you guys had to call an audible. What was the audible? When did you guys decide that you wanted to make that play?
To leave Frag West?
Yeah.
It came when NRG 50-50'd us on, what is that, 3 weeks now? 3 weeks ago? NRG 50-50, we didn't win our fight,
yeah.
so there's no reason to stay there and split the loot.
A lot of people don't realize that there's a huge metagame that goes involved in this. You have to be involved in the scrims. You have to be active in Series Z and the tournaments in order to understand exactly where all these teams rotate from and where they land, because that's a huge deal. You have to know when you're going and playing in the ALGS what lobby, what teams you have in your lobby, and what each team likes to do based on who's on the roster. So when there's a team that you feel like isn't going to go Fragment West, is that where you guys are going to go?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
1,000%. You guys are confident fighting over there. Now, you don't have to worry about the EU teams over there. If NRG, say, perhaps is in the lobby, are you guys planning on contesting them, or are you guys going to kind of save that secret for a little bit later?
We'll save that secret for a little later.
Definitely.
All right, understandable. It's gonna be interesting to see if that pans out. Now, Blady, I heard you saying before we started that you guys fought a lot of the pro teams and it didn't go as planned today. Can you elaborate on that?
We had a few bumps today, but I came in today really confident, and that was good. And it's so good that I feel that confidence that we can have that. Because yesterday, I don't think we did bad at all. We had a few goofs, but those didn't stop us. And when I feel like it transferred over to today. But when it came to some of the positioning on the team, it wasn't what it could be, and I feel like we're getting better on that.
Yeah, one of the things that I noticed, and I was touching base on this while casting, is that you guys are great at team fighting. But Lucas, it's really up to you to have to put your team in better positions. I feel like you guys rotate fairly late, and then it's like you guys don't know if you want to take the fight or not. And for me, I feel like if you guys were to just actually commit to something, then give yourself a little bit more time instead of kind of just poking around and sitting around, maybe looting too long or whatever it is. Those are valuable seconds, 15, 20 seconds, whatever it is. It seems like you guys need to search for more opportunities and start with your portal. If it's not there, look for plan B, look for plan C. And for me, that's what I feel like. If you guys are able to do that, you guys will skyrocket right there towards the top partner teams. Is that something you noticed, Lucas? I heard you say
I
that.
100% agree. We're too wishy-washy when deciding whether or not what to do, and that ultimately comes down to me being decide whether we need to push or we just need to leave.
Yeah, Fat Fruit Ninja, what do you think about that? How are you guys going to be able to fix that?
That's actually something I've talked about. I've been in the game for a while, and I not to say I have a better understanding of the game than Lucas, but I have just more experience in general, right? And I try to tell him, you just gotta, stick to it. You gotta make that call. I say that all the time. You just gotta make that call, and you're 100% right there. We are a little wishy-washy. We lack some of the coordination that these pro teams have. That's why you see us do so well on those Tuesday days, because we do have that skill. But on those Tuesday days, there's, you get away with some things, and everybody knows that. So you get away with some things, and on Wednesdays, you don't get away with much things. So that just takes time, practice, focus practice, and it just takes that confidence. So I 100% agree that if we do just make that call, we can soar. It just takes time to get that confidence.
And it seems like we're seeing a lot of stuff from Two Brains, One Controller specifically today, what it's like when you have two players on the team that are really good at calling where the zone's going to go. And the zones are really hard to predict unless you're able to find one that you recognize, consistently. But it's not about the zones being hard to predict. It's the amount of teams that are already gatekeeping in certain spots. So, you'll be surprised. It's easier when you're sitting in the casting area to look at everything from a broader perspective. But a lot of areas sometimes end up being open that you may not necessarily think were open, but it really can't just, rely on Lucas, and all him. It really has to be a combined team effort for all of you guys to get together and, start pinging spots and throwing around ideas. And I went through the same kind of growing phases that you guys are talking about. And once Lucas continues to, push the envelope and starts taking different routes, you guys are going to recognize these scenarios a lot easier. So it's nice that you guys are recognizing that you guys are open to feedback. And like I said, you guys show what it takes on Tuesdays to, team fight, to call zones, to do exactly everything that you guys need to do to win. It's just that when you go and you have one of these most stacked vibes like we do on Pro Day, you have very little real estate to work with because everybody's already set up in a certain spot, right? So, that's what's going to be exciting for me to watch you guys kind of, move forward with. And I hope next week's, a better week for you. Blighty, how do you feel about next week, and how do you feel about the ALGS going on this weekend and potentially making it into the playoffs?
I'm feeling good. I'm confident that it's going to happen, and it's also a good way to test our strength because after this LCQ happens, we get to see the playoffs happen, even if we don't make it. If we make it, props to us. Really good job. And then we can move on, take a break, come back even stronger when East Series starts up again. Series E, I mean.
Yeah, and it's going to happen pretty fast too. So, I'm really, wishing you guys well. I think that, I learned a lot about watching you guys this week. I hope you guys did too. And, I think that you guys have all the confidence in the world. And after watching you guys put together what I thought was some of the best Apex we've seen from one of our partners teams to start off game number 1. I think if you guys just continue to ride that wave, you guys are going to do great things. So best of luck in the ALGS this weekend, and we'll be rooting for you.
Appreciate that. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys, we'll see you next week. We'll also see you Tuesday and Wednesday for more Series E and Final Circle.
Hey, shake it, kiddo. Love Dad. Oh.
I've got this. Kellogg's Rice Krispies Treats. A little love when it's needed.
It's Kellogg's, Fruit Loops, Apple Jacks, Corn Pops, Tiger Paws. They're Jumbo.
Jumbo snacks, snack time heroes. Go take them on the go. Cereal, magnified, showing up for snacking time. Jumbo snacks, snack time heroes. Go take them on the go.
It's Jumbo. It's your snacking. It's Jumbo Snacks.
Cheez-It snapped. How's it taste? It's so thin, crispy, and cheesy. And I just want to keep eating it. And eating it. They love them.
Snapped. So good we may run out of cheese.